So how is everything? Are you in France right now?
Yeah. I'm living in the south of France, near Montpellier. Don't know if you've ever been there, but
I've
it's yeah.
yeah, I've traveled quite a bit in France, but the only region I have not been to is the south. So I'm hoping to, get there once travel is permitted again.
Oh yeah. You have to because it's beautiful. South of France is it's great.
That's what I hear.
Yeah.
So how are you
Well,
passing time during this coronavirus?
doing a lot of like working at home because I'm living off music. So I'm not gigging at the moment, so I can't do anything else but staying at home. So I'm taking care of my son as well. I've got a little kid. He's 4.5. So with my girlfriend, we do like school at home for him, and then we're being busy of like basically working on songs and doing. I've been doing some covers as well for the people like on Facebook, and I'm recording like pretty much every day and shooting some videos, and then I post them on my Facebook page and Instagram, and so I'm keeping myself busy. I was busy promoting the last Disconnected single, so that took me probably like 2 to 3 weeks as well, on a daily basis, like reaching out with people and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think this is definitely an interesting time for musicians, and I
yeah,
think it's requiring bands to be very creative in,
yeah.
promoting their music and getting it
Mm.
out there when they can't tour right now.
Yeah, no, that's the main problem. And I mean, in France, we are lucky enough to have a certain system that allows us to stay home and still, like getting paid from our government, because there is a special system for the artists in France that are performing on stage. But I know for most of my friends in the US or in Europe in general, they don't have that system, so they stay at home and there is no income, and it's a tough situation for a lot of musicians in the world. And I think a lot of like my friends, the technicians as well, lots of technicians, because unfortunately they are not like us. They can't like offer to an audience like something like we can sing, we can play music and stuff like that. But these guys, their job is different. If they're not like working on gigs, they can't do anything as well. So it's very tough on those guys. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think your latest single, Unstoppable, that's a good suitable title for,
Yeah,
how you're going to continue forward. Yeah, I really love the song and the video. Can you talk a little bit about, what the experience was like shooting the music video and a little bit
yeah,
about
of
the song?
course. Yeah, of course. I mean, we wrote that song with Adrian and I. We are the songwriters of the band. He's doing all the music, and I'm working on the vocals and the lyrics. So he came up with that backing track with that music probably a year ago, something like that, end of April 2019, I think. And like we spent probably a year and a half struggling a bit to go back on tour. Like as an up and coming band, it's always pretty difficult, like when you're self-managed, like we are, also to try and like find tours where you can go for. And so we were a bit angry at that moment, and the song was very powerful and very straight to the point, like a punch in your face. And we thought, come on, we're gonna continue to push, like whatever happens for the band. And so the lyrics came up like that, like we have to be unstoppable. This is our state of mind. This is what we are made of. And so yeah, it was perfect that at that moment. It's very ironic that right now, like you said, it resonates a lot with the type of spirit we all try to embrace at the moment, like trying to keep hanging in there, and still thinking positive and pushing forward, and hoping for better days to come up.
Absolutely. And what who or what inspired you to pursue music?
I have to say my first, like proper crush on music was when I discovered AC/DC
Oh, nice.
with the album The Razor's Edge. I think I was probably 13 years old, something like that. It was probably 1990, and I was really focused on my studying and sports as well, because I used to be a swimmer, and I was doing a lot of trainings and all the competitions in the weekends, like stuff like that. And I met a guy at school with long blonde hair, t-shirts with monsters, like I was very intrigued by that guy and thinking, well, I have to know this guy. He's got something special, he's got a certain vibe that is attracting me. And we started to hang together. We became friends, and eventually he told me that, what kind of music do you listen to? And I wasn't listening to something in particular. I was just hearing what was on the radio, what my parents would listen to, which is pretty old French music, like old singers. And so he gave me that cassette. And that's how old I am, fortunately. So he gave me
Oh,
that
yeah.
cassette, and on the A side of the cassette there was the album Crazy World from the Scorpions, and on the B side there was a melting pot of different songs from Metallica, Megadeth, AC/DC, and I don't remember who else, maybe Accept as well. And I fell in love with that music, and I changed from one day to another. I started to grow my hair and buying the magazines and stuff, and my parents wouldn't recognize me. They were like, who the fuck is he becoming? He's not our son anymore. He's a different person. What's the
I
matter
thought you
with him?
were rebelling or something, becoming a rebel.
Yeah, I mean, I was so dedicated in like training properly, school and stuff like that, and all of a sudden I had all those posters in my bedroom with Guns N' Roses and Judas Priest, Motley Crue, like all these guys with leather pants and pointy stuff everywhere, blood and whatever, and they were like, my God, what's happening here?
And little did they know you would open for Judas Priest. Is that right? You guys opened
Yeah,
for.
yeah, we did.
How
We
was
did.
that experience?
That was freaking amazing. I mean, we got contacted by the promoter of the gig, the French gig, um, back in September 2018, and then we went on tour with Tremonti throughout Europe. And when we came back, so we got that gig to open for Judas Priest, and I mean, it was the biggest venue that we've done so far. So it's the Zenith of Paris. It's a 7,000 seats venue, so it's a pretty big one, And so, opening for the metal gods, I mean, it's very particular. And for a French band as well, I think we were the first French band ever to open for Judas Priest, I think, in France or something
Really?
like that.
Wow. That's quite an
Yeah,
honor.
yeah. So it was pretty crazy. And like 35 minutes before going on stage, someone is knocking on our door, on our dressing room door, and it's fucking Rob Halford.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah, coming in there and saying, hello guys, nice to meet you, my name is Rob. Like if we didn't know who he was,
Wow.
very funny.
So I guess he's
So
very humble.
I mean, the guy was so gentle with us. I mean, he talked with us for like a good 10 minutes, asking us what we were about to do. And he was very happy to have us on board. And he listened to what we were doing. And him and the guys from Judas Priest and their management, they accepted to have us on the gig as well, because they thought that we were good enough to open for them, obviously. They take care, like of who is opening for them, like they wouldn't take anybody, And so yeah, it was fucking awesome. I mean, we were on a little cloud, with Rob Halford, and we had a guy filming for us and taking photos and stuff. So he stopped everything when he came, like in the dressing room. And Rob said, oh, continue filming, do some footage, and we'll take a picture, we'll post it on Instagram, like this will give you good promotion and stuff. I mean, lovely guy.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
That's incredible.
But you know what? I've noticed that throughout my whole career, that most of the time, the biggest rock stars, I don't say all the time, but most of the times, they are the nicest persons. You know, it's like, for example, Mark Tremonti is the most international, you know, like most grounded type of person that you can find for an international artist like him. You know, it's crazy. So yeah, that was great.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times it's when they're on stage, they become, their stage persona, but off
Of
stage, they're a
course.
totally different person, you know?
I mean, you have to. You mean you go on stage in front of thousands of people. You can't really behave like you're the guy next door. You know.
Hmm.
So you have to have that posture. You have to have that aura around you. And I mean, you're always, when you go on stage like that, and when you've got that drive in your life of being an artist, and a live artist especially, there is something happening within yourself when you go on stage. There's like a little something that is switching inside of you, and you become, you know, like on many levels, someone else, you know.
Right. Well, before we end the interview, I wanted to ask if there's anything else you want to promote or mention.
No, basically, you know, like just chatting about Disconnected is, it's great. You know, like I'm very happy with this. You know, that's what I'm here for.
Do you guys have any plans to tour next year, or are you guys going to wait and see how things,
The
play out?
Yeah, the problem is that everything is on hold for the moment. We were in the middle of recording sessions for our next album. The plan for us originally was to release the album by, you know, like the 15th of October, and then we were probably programmed to go on tour in Germany, especially in November, with a German band, because right now we are in the process of signing contracts with a booking agency and with the management as well. And those guys wanted us to go on tour in Germany. It's a German company, by the way. They wanted us to go on Germany and tour over there, and then see after what was happening. But now, who knows what's going to happen, because we don't know when we're going to be able to go back on stage. That's the main problem. We can't anticipate on anything, you know. I would like to be able to say, you know, we're going to be able to finish this album this summer, and then, you know, we're still going to be able to tour, you know, by the fall. But I
You
don't
never
know.
know.
No, I don't know. And for the release of our next album, it won't be before next year, beginning of next year. Fingers crossed. Awesome. Thank you
Yeah,
so much for inviting me, and keeping me posted.
absolutely. Thank you.
Okay. Take care, Jen.
You too.
Yeah.
Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.